now, baby. We're going live.
We're live? We're live in it?
We're live. Yup, we're going to go live. I'm going to tweet this link out. We're going to get some people in here. This is too good not to just go live with it and just see if we can get some people in here for happy hour.
Happy hour. It's it's
Well,
4
here,
o'clock.
yeah, 4 o'clock here. All right, let's go live. Push the button. All right, here's the link. Let's tweet the link out.
Yeah.
We are live. We're live. Let's talk World Team Trials. All right, link going out. I should probably tag Rokfin. All right, Willie. We're live. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon here. I've had a busy day. I thought, you know what? Before my kids get up, maybe I can go take a little nap, get a little nappy poo in, and then I see the Oklahoma State news that David Taylor has registered for the World Team Trials. And to be honest, you know what it's like when you know news is coming for weeks. It's like finally, It's out there and official because.
Basch FaceTimes me. Basch FaceTimes me. His hair is just a freaking mess. And he's like, "You want to go live?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you should come here."
Well, I literally just laid down for a couple minutes. I'm like, let me get some rest, and I'm tired. And then I'm like, there's so much for that. But I did like lay down just enough, head on the pillow on the couch, hair everywhere. So,
well, it's finally good to have some, information.
We've been trying to do this show all week, and then I had to go to Boston on Tuesday. I was out of commission. I had early meetings Monday, Wednesday. You decided randomly, hey, World Team Trials is this weekend. Let's go live and talk Carter Ferrari for 30 minutes. So, but now it's good because now we got the Mirasola in. I was going to say Mirasola brothers. It's only Connor. I don't know why they're both registering. We got Levi Haynes in. So I'm glad we waited to do this. I guess let's start with the big news. David Taylor coming out of retirement. I know it hasn't been that long, but he did say at the press conference, now that Gilman and I have wrapped up our athletic competition career, that basically means I'm retired. And he told the team a few weeks ago he was competing. And since then, that's kind of, it's really been out there like he's competing. Yeah. But of course you never know because it's like his intent is he's going to compete. So you kind of wait and, you try to let them break it. But
yeah, there was good indications that he was competing. And some of us said, we expect him to compete, but you never know until, it wasn't even registered, right? So you kind of had to wait for that. And it's good. I wanted to wait to do the World Team Trial show with you because you love the World Team Trials process and the senior level stuff. But it's also good that we waited because we got these entries out and we got some finality, I guess, on David.
Yeah.
It's going to go back. The question here is now the message board is going to light up with, should David be wrestling? Why is David wrestling? There's two major stories here, right? It's one, an Olympic champion's coming back. And two, he's doing so a couple months after he took a head coaching job. And so if he wasn't a head coach, everybody would say
this would have made perfect sense if he was not a head coach.
Yeah, well, people would have said, well, then why'd you say you retired? Now they're saying, well, why'd you say you retired, and how does this help you coach Oklahoma State? And so there's going to be a lot of criticism. I think we've kicked the idea around a little bit enough that my thoughts on it. If he wants to wrestle, he wants to wrestle. I don't think it's this major thing where it's going to be a distraction from Okie State, from coaching his team.
Well,
he's not coaching wrestling and also like playing for the New York Yankees. He's like He's not incapacitated. He's not over there away from the team. I mean, I don't
I'll,
understand what the big
I'll
thing
give
is.
a couple thoughts because you and Felters have talked about it a bit this week, so we won't beat the dead horse of the conversation. But I will say a couple things. One is I do think that he did not really have a lot of time to contemplate retirement. And I was talking to Burrows about it earlier in the week, and he had said, look, a lot happened in a very short period of time. You
Yeah.
don't. David Taylor was not expecting not to make the Olympic team. So all of a sudden, he's like, what's my next move? And everything happened with Oklahoma State. And I think what he probably should have said at the press conference was, I'm likely all done now. This is my focus. He kind of said something. He basically misspoke, like, hey, I'm done. Our athletic career is over. And I think maybe he meant that at the time. But, I don't think this is just – I know you said this is just him wanting to have fun. I don't think that's the case. I think maybe somebody like Kyle Snyder or somebody who competes all the time. David only competes a couple times a year. I think this is about a couple things. David Taylor is one of the best to ever do it. And I don't think he wants to go out with a loss without a world championship or an Olympic title. And I think he wants to go out with one more tournament. And I also think that, and first of all, and we'll talk about it when we kind of preview a little bit, but I mean, there's talk that Sedgy Live is going to compete at 92 kilos. Gasimpour with Iran, who's already a 2021 and 2022 world champ, is going to compete. And he's improved a lot. I think Taylor actually wrestled him like 2016, 2017. But, it is going to be
Gasimpour.
– what's that?
Gasimpour is good. I mean,
Yeah.
you talk about at the height of their powers, Gasimpour, Sedgelayev, Taylor. That would be like that would be a better bracket than anything that they had at the Olympics.
Correct. And so I think the magnitude of this, and I also think in Chad, the AD at Oklahoma State, had kind of said, like, look, it's great for us to get the brand out there. There's no doubt I think this is part Oklahoma State and the Cowboy Wrestling Club saying, let's go get the program out there, whether it's to rally everybody and boost team culture, whether it's...
Well, they could, if they had, I guess it might not even matter about winning, but winning or just competing, if you have a bunch of guys from your RTC, you're going to get a lot of headlines. You're going to get a lot of pub. There's 14-year-olds whose eyes are on this, and they're like, where does he wrestle for? Oklahoma State, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma State. The same way that we've seen the gravity of at Final X, that guy's Nittany Lion. That guy's Nittany Lion Wrestling Club. That guy's Nittany Lion Wrestling Club. We've seen the gravity in the last 2 weeks. Junior World Team, Penn State, Penn State, Penn State, Penn State. I mean, so it's good for marketing that Dayton Fix is in it. David Taylor is in it. Jordan Oliver is a former Cowboy. And that's good. That's good from Jump Street. From Jump Street, that's good marketing. Now, if they win, they make the finals. That's even cherry on top, right?
Well, you brought up to the point of criticism, and I think no matter what in sports, there's always criticism when things don't go your way. Best case scenario for Oklahoma State is Fix makes a team, Taylor makes a team, and they both go and win world medals. That is a gamble. That is a bet. The downside is you're going to have people where, let's say, Fix doesn't make the team and David does. Well, if David was focused on Dayton Fix and the Cowboys, like, you're definitely going to have that criticism, but there also is a big upside here where if Fix and Taylor both make the team and they have half the non-Olympic world team, that is going to be, and then if Jordan makes it at 70, that's a former Cowboy. It's definitely a bet, and I think they are, it's...
Yeah, I think it's, and I think, now, those Cowboys could go out. The Dayton Fix could make the team, and David Taylor could make the team, and other guys could make the team, and that would be all well and good. Now, if they don't make the team, I can just hear the criticism. Well, it's not working out. Well, see, he shouldn't have done it. Like that. I don't understand the whole thing that Penn State has preached is enjoying it. enjoying it, right? Then you don't think. I mean, a healthy mind doesn't think of wins and losses. That's
Well,
secondary,
the
right?
Penn State thing of enjoying it, yes, that's also it is a bit different now when you have somebody who is a coach. I think it's a bit different when you have somebody. There is a Nolf retired because he's basically not having fun anymore. I love
Right.
competing, but so I get it. I do think though, like the have fun thing, yeah, throughout your whole 20s and early 30s, go have fun. I think it's about a little bit more than just having fun when you're mid 30s and you
That's
just took
another.
a huge job.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, it sounds cliche-ish, but I just don't know if now some of these people are wired different, and so maybe I just if you if you removed everybody from competition that didn't have a realistic shot to win, there'd be like three people, or the World Team Trials would be like three people. So if you're saying that David Taylor's entry into this and his decision making process hinges on whether he wins or loses, what does that say about everybody else? I mean,
Yeah. No, listen, you and Adam have talked a lot about it. I don't want to go too far into it because you guys have covered it a lot, but it is now official, so it makes sense to touch on it. So, all right, do you want to just dive into 92 kilos and preview that weight first?
yeah, let's do that.
So, pre-seeds came out earlier in the week,
Mm-hmm.
and they're definitely going to move around a bit because,
All right, let me ask this because I'm gonna be honest. I am not up to date on. They changed some things, right? They changed some things with the seating, correct?
like, what? What do you mean? They changed, like, they are using like four different criterias for it. Like they're using the pin system, they're using head to head, they're taking into account past world medals.
Oh
It,
my god, dude! I don't want to say who because I don't want him to get in trouble. But you know how I dunk on that pin system stuff, right?
yep.
Um, Somebody sent me a screenshot the other day of the pin system, and I don't even know if you know this name, Bash, but he was a great high school wrestler. He was top three on my big board, top five on my big board coming out. His name was Bryce Brill, and he committed to Northwestern, and he never wrestled a match. I mean, he might have wrestled like three matches or something like that, right? He had injuries and stuff, but he hasn't wrestled since like 2014 or something like that, right? Somebody sent me a screenshot where Bryce Brill, pound for pound in the pin rankings, is top 50 in America on a senior level.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, so they changed up the seeding system a bit. But looking at the 92 kilo seeds, you do got to throw Connor Marisola in there. Connor and Cole, I told you beforehand, Connor and Cole were both registered last night for a bit, and I made a graphic, and then their dad told me that Cole is not wrestling. That was an
Their
error in the
dad is
registration. So
their
shout out
dad's
John.
cool.
Shout out
He's
John letting us know. I actually literally just made, for the first time ever, Basch Solutions 3X tees because John wanted one. I said, you know what? I'm doing an order. I got to get John one. I'm going to make a 3X. I got like half a dozen of them because I get people.
he's a 3X.
Big boy John. Dude,
I
that's a
mean,
big family. Connor and Cole are
he's a
big
large
kids.
human. He's a large human, but I didn't think he was a 3X.
Maybe he just likes to wear it a little big. There's no
Maybe he
shame
likes
in
to wear a
that.
little- Nah, I mean,
We
listen.
don't size shame t-shirts, Willie.
Listen, I'm 5'3" and I wear them large. I ain't picking on nobody. I'm just saying he is big. I didn't think 3X big,
Yeah.
but he's one of the best. He's one of the best.
He's great. So
Okay,
Connor
so
Marisola needs to be in here, and David Taylor does not get a bye. He gets the 1 seed, and Zahid will sit out.
okay, so David gets the one. That's for sure.
Yes, David will have the 1 seed.
Okay, so Zahid sitting out. David the one. He has to go through the whole bracket. That would mean the 4-5 would be Eric Schultz and Aiden Sinclair.
Well, no, because they're going to get
No,
moved down.
it would be Machiavello and Schultz.
And I don't know. Um,
That puts PD3 on the other side.
I don't know where. Do you remember what Connor Marasola did at the Olympic trials? I don't know where he'll be seated in there.
Let me look it up. He won matches.
Yeah, I thought he had a couple of.
He took down Brooks.
That was a big takedown. That arena erupted.
He took down Brooks. All right, let's see. 2024 U.S. Olympic trials. My boy. Challenge 86. Marasola. Starachi beat Downey. How about that match? Hidley beat Starachi. Chance beat Hidley. It's when we talk about guys doing stuff, and I mean, to go back to David's decision, I think Jordan's probably right. A lot of things happen quickly, and I don't think David. I get not angry, but I like roll my eyes at guys that say they're retired, they're not retired, they're going this way, they're going that way. They commit to this school, they commit to that school. It's like, all right, just make up your mind and let us know when it's final. But I really, in David's case, I really think that when he said he was done, I think he was 100% sure he was done at the time. But things change, right? Just like I was talking to somebody and like they were in Chance's room a couple months ago, like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. And Chance said, ain't no way I'm going 79. I'm more likely to go 92.
That's what Chenzo told me. When Chance first registered, Chenzo was like,
here we are, he's
up.
at 79, right? Yep. So things change.
Shout out my guy Chenzo. He's got to come back on the podcast soon. We were just talking about it.
Chenzo just texted me and David like when that Oklahoma State release came out and David Taylor's wrestling again. Chenzo said, does that mean David Taylor can play fantasy football again? But alas, he cannot. Okay.
Hey, Willie, can we plan a trip together to UNC to go visit Chenzo?
Absolutely.
We need to do that.
We should look at the schedule. Marasola beat McFadden 4-0, lost to Brooks 11-5. Backside, Marasola lost to Dean.
So then all he really has is a win over McFadden, who's not wrestling. So I don't know that he's going to get much juice in the seats. It's going to be interesting. I don't know.
Well, he won the junior spot. Well, it wasn't that weight though. Was it? Yeah. So Sinclair didn't make the junior team.
No.
Right? Sinclair lost to Barr at 86, and Sinclair's the 5.
Yeah. So,
I mean, honestly, I don't know how Sinclair gets seated over Downey. I think it should probably be like Marasola, Sinclair. I think it should be Downey, Marasola, Sinclair.
So you're going to have David the 1, Trent Hidley the 2, Aiello the 3, Mock the 4.
Let me be clear. That's how I would seat it. I don't know. Again, I don't know what the pin ratings shake out. I don't know what exactly their criteria is. They tweaked it a little bit. And so I'm not saying that's how it should be seated. I'm saying surface level, how I would seat it, that's how I would seat it.
So they are going to... Let me see. Hold on. I thought I had it somewhere about where they were seating. Maybe not.
Let's look up U23s, their trials. When were they? I thought they were.
I will tell you, the early public sentiment is overwhelming excitement for Taylor competing.
Is it? I mean, it's just happened. It just became like public. So I haven't seen the reaction.
I mean, going on the Instagram, I put the graphic up on Baschamania, and it's got 800 likes within an hour. You know, like the engagement is high. People are excited. People are sharing it like crazy. Um, these are the comments. Wow, I knew it. Oh my God. Okay, it's happening. Boom. David Taylor, King David Taylor. Let's go. Wow. Oh my God, I'm so happy. Hell yeah. Zahid punching air right now. Wowzer.
Yeah. Well, good. Good. I mean, that's beyond the should David wrestle, should he not wrestle? Does it conflict? Is he trained up enough? Is he in the best shape? Should he? Does it take away his time from the team? Beyond all that, it's exciting for the sport, right? Especially,
Dude, we get David Taylor and Jordan Burroughs, two of the
Justin
greatest
Casual.
American wrestlers of all times, competing this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So there wasn't. Connor Marisola sat in the junior trials finals. I guess you'd have to go back to. I got it. I got it pulled up right here. Anyway, that's how I would see it.
Well, it'll be interesting.
Marisola. He beat Rademacher in the finals of the Open. Delegado. There's nobody that's seated for this was there.
I would assume he's like going to be in that 5, 6, 7 range, somewhere in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I would imagine.
And then obviously, so you got David Taylor, Trent Hidley, ALO, and Mike Mock. Eric Schultz is like the top guys in that weight. And then you'll have Zahid sitting out in the best of 3 finals on Sunday.
That's an ACC bracket. Hidley, Aiello, Mock. I mean, what's your take on? I mean, my response is that I have no idea where David is. He could have lost. He could have went to Okie State and started training with the guys and really got his mojo back and his motor running and he could be in as good a shape as ever. Or he might not be good. He might.
Well, so here's the thing. I think that David Taylor is so good and has been so good for so long. Even if he's not fully training, he's one of the best in the world. He is going to be something that very few can do, even at training full capacity. The only thing I question is, where is his gas tank? You know, that was one of the most impressive things about him for so long. And guys like Trent Hidley, Mike Mock, these guys have such a strong pace. It's going to be so fun to watch where it's like, I would have said that, you know, Brooks was the only guy I thought could beat David in the Olympic trials. David did come out kind of flat, and there was a bit of a mixed response where there were some people saying it's not the same David Taylor. Well, what David Taylor are we going to see this weekend? And some people were saying the only reason David lost was because Aaron Brooks trained specifically to beat him like Chance did for Burroughs. So it's going to be very interesting. Does David Taylor look different than he did at the Olympic trials? Is this a case? You know what I mean? It's going to be so fun to watch.
I mean, you know my stance. I certainly think that at Olympic trials, David looked not his best. David looked not peaked. David looked a step slower. I'm also not saying that's why AB won.
Yeah.
I'm not taking that away from AB. But I think David, for this go round, would have to be a step better. You know, he'd have to get that back a little bit. And but you know, the issue we always bring up is it's hard to gauge these guys. David went like a calendar year without making an appearance, and then he made an appearance, and it was just 2 matches to a guy that might be the best in the world right now. I mean, AB took bronze in the Olympics, but he's obviously right there with whoever
Yeah, he lost to the Olympic champ with seconds to go, and I think for David, there's also there's
Right.
when you're David Taylor, Jordan Burroughs, Kyle Snyder, the target is on your back. You're the absolute best in the world, and everybody's training to beat you. And we've seen it where it is very hard. If you would have told me since these guys have medaled that David Taylor, Jordan Burroughs, and Kyle Snyder would not win back-to-back Olympic golds, you'd initially be like, I think they'll repeat. We thought it with Jordan in 2016. We thought it with Kyle in 2020. And we thought it with David in 2024. So there is that pressure that builds of being the guy. And perhaps these last 3-4 months in Stillwater have given David the ability to get that pressure kind of off his back.
Well, I honestly, I think history gets a little wonky, but I'll never change my opinion on this. I think pressure is the only reason Jordan lost in Rio.
Yeah, agreed.
I think it's the only reason, and if you look at his match that he lost against the Russian Godoyev, totally weird match, got off the rails early and often. Number one. Number two, people you talk to said he was feeling the pressure. Number three, all he did after that is lead Sidikov with 3 seconds to go for 2 years in a row, right? So he was still A1A,
Yeah,
1B, and so it's difficult to gauge. I could be wrong. I thought that David looked not his best, but at the same time, maybe Aaron Brooks is currently the best guy in the world. I don't think that's wearing USA colored glasses to say Aaron Brooks took bronze, but could still be the number one guy.
yeah. So, I guess we'll get to it. The other thing that's funny about this is, so I don't think anybody is going to hang with David in the challenge tournament. I think David will win this. And, you got Zahid in the finals, so I think it's going to be David versus Zahid for best of 3. And, man, that's going to be fun. You have a lot of people that, they're split. Some say Zahid will never beat David. Some say, a singlet pole is the only reason we didn't see this at the Olympic trials. And now we're very likely going to see it. I don't think that, Hidley or Aiello or Mock is at that level of David Taylor. And, David beat Zahid 4-2 and then 10-0 at the 2022 World Team Trials. It's going to be interesting. You can't really ask the wrestlers because they all have full confidence in themselves, so they probably should. But I am curious of how much is there intimidation, like David Taylor's still one of the greatest of all time, or is there, hey, I just saw Aaron beat David, why can't I?
Well, I think that a lot of it has to do with David's motivation, David's internal drive. Hungry dogs hunt, right? And David's been there and done that, and as much as he wants to tell you he wants to win one more time, and I'm sure he does, is that fire still really there? Where you got a guy like Trent Hidley who's just sort of he's just sort of approaching full-time freestyle training, and he's hungry as hell. And I mean, if we're doing a recap show Monday, and what we have to discuss is Trent Hidley sort of out-horsing David, I wouldn't pick it, but we don't know where David's at, so I don't 100%. Think it would be like surprising.
No, agreed. And that's what makes it so fun is that, if not for the Olympic trials, I think everybody's saying David Taylor next topic. After you saw the kink in the armor at the Olympic trials, I think now we're seeing like, hey, you know what? Can Zahid finally get the best of him up at 92 kilos? Can Trent Hidley push the pace? Can a guy like Mike Mock break through? It makes it one of the most interesting tournaments David Taylor has entered in a very long time.
Absolutely. There's a lot of a lot of bylines here, like side
David is
side.
my official pick to win this weight, by the way.
Um, is Hidley? So Hidley will be the 2. Mock will be the 4. I'm glad about that. I'm glad that Mock and Hidley are opposite sides. Um,
unless Connor in the pin system is
right.
2 or 3.
Yeah, I don't think that would. I don't think that would happen. Mock made a Final X, right?
Yes. Mock.
Mock made a Final X a couple years ago. That was the one in New York City,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. He 2023. Him and Zahid wrestled at Final X
Zahid.
at 92.
Yeah.
Zahid beat him and then won bronze at Worlds.
Yeah, so Mock could be a player in this too. You know, for a long time, the sort of word was, well, why doesn't Mock go down? Why doesn't Mock go down? He obviously can make it. He's obviously a threat there, and then that got proven when he made a Final X. But like Mock was like stubborn. He was like, I'm not. I know Kyle Snyder's there. I'm not running away from him. It's like Mock. No, you're not running away, but you can make the team at 92. So I think Mock's a,
And Zahid beat him pretty soundly. It was 8-0 and
Yeah,
9-2.
Yeah, that was unexpected. Really.
Yeah, I did not expect that at all. And I remember right after that, I think I was maybe texting Chenzo, and I was like, that's when he said, like, 86 is actually a cut. Like, that is a very real cut for Zahid, and he feels really good at 92.
You had Zahid coming up from 86, and you had Mock coming down from 97, and
right.
I don't think anybody was surprised that Zahid won. They were surprised that it was that handily.
Yeah.
So that's 92. Really interesting.
Is Taylor your official pick?
Mm.
Ooh. Ooh.
I don't know. I don't know where David's at. I don't know where he's at.
All right, so best guess.
I'll pick David. I'll pick David under the assumption that for him to do what he's doing,
he got the fire back.
That he's all systems go.
That's
and that could be true, but that could might be false. But I'll assume that it's there's a lot of assumptions because we're not in the room with him.
Agreed. And I think this is one of the most interesting tournaments David has entered in the past decade because of the fact that we don't know where he's at, and we know, Zahid is right there. He's a world bronze medalist last year. He's a returning world medalist, so it's going to be very interesting. Can a guy like Trent Hidley, who is a certified madman, can he push the pace? Can David Taylor bring the pace back he had? It's going to be awesome. So speaking of pace, 61 kilos.
That's really the question, right? Because and especially when it comes to Zahid, because Zahid talent for talent is like as good as anybody, but he often fades.
Correct. And I've heard at 86 it's because of the weight cut. I don't know if it's solely the weight cut, but the weight cut's a very real factor. So, let's go backwards. Let's go to 79. We always go light to heavy. We'll jump to 79. Right. And it's crazy. We go from David Taylor at 92 to Jordan Burroughs competing at 79 in what I believe will be his last domestic competition. I think if he wins, the Worlds is his final go. I think if he loses, this is it.
So you're saying shoes on the mat, whether in Omaha or at Worlds?
Because he's Jordan Burroughs, I don't know that it's shoes on the mat. But I do think that I think this will be it. If he loses, first of all, he's 36 years old. That for this sport, that is grandpa level for the sport. He's also got 5 kids, so he's grandpa level anyways. But I think if this is his third world team he does not make, I think this will be it for him.
If you, that's true, but he has been coming close. I mean, he was in Final X 2 years ago.
No, I know, but I don't know that he wants to keep doing it
Yeah.
just to
If
be.
but if you are him, just symbolically, and whether it's here this weekend in Omaha or whether it's at Worlds, if you are him, do you do the shoe ceremony? Do you do that or do you
If
not?
I'm him, no. If I'm him, I've told him
Interesting.
this. I think he's too big. If I'm him, I do on a standalone day. I release a video. I do something that is, 8 o'clock on a Tuesday night, whatever. Um, I just think that he very well could. I just think that for somebody like Jordan to retire, I could see it just being a standalone day, and just
Yeah,
that's all the
I
news
think,
headlines versus, you know, the middle
yeah,
of a 4-team wrestle off.
yeah. I think that'd be really cool to have, and reserved for the biggest stars in the sport, right? Is to maybe have a standalone ceremony announcement type thing.
Yeah, but if he does, and if he would leave his shoes in the mat, I think Nebraska is the place to do it. I don't
Yeah,
think there's a better place to do it than, where he won so many world and Olympic and NCAA titles. Um, but he feels great. We do a lot of work together, and when we talk often, and we were talking about some business stuff earlier in the week, and all of a sudden I go, "So, how you feeling?" Like, just changing course this weekend, and he feels great. He feels as good as he has. The Olympics really kind of reignited that fire. He didn't really know what he wanted to do, and going through the whole Olympic process, watching every single match, commentating on so many, that fire kind of got reignited, and it's going to be great. Again, when was the last time David Taylor and Jordan Burroughs wrestled through a tournament together?
I know. It's only been sitting in the finals or sitting out.
I'll have to look up when the last time, but yeah. So as of right now, the top seeds, you got Chance the 1, Burroughs the 2, Derringer the 3, O'Toole the 4, Carr the 5, Wick 6, and then
It's
Garvin the
insane, right?
Valley.
Carr and O'Toole in a quarter.
For the winner to get Chance.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Burroughs Derringer, a likely semi.
Yeah. So first of all, there's one of the great NCAA rivalries as the 4-5. Isn't that
Which is
awesome?
crazy.
And a recent one. Um, man, and like I don't know, Burroughs Ringer kind of there's a size thing there, right? I
But
mean, Ringer,
wasn't that so? He beat him 2 in a row in the best of 3 in the 2021 World Team Trials. That was his first time up at 79 kilos. Wasn't that when he injured his foot and he hobbled out of the arena real quick? He won 10-5 and then he won 4-3, and I think that's when he hurt
that
his
was in
foot.
that was in Lincoln. Yep.
Yeah, so I think he hurt it in between matches, but it was 10-5 and then 4-3.
Yep. Um, so it would be 2-7. Burroughs against Hunter Garvin. Ringer against Wick. Winners get each other. Burroughs Ringer. Uh, Semi. O'Toole. Carr. Winner gets Chance. Who you taking?
This is kind of a bias pick. I know people are already crying, but this is a bias pick. I think it's going to end up being Carr versus Burroughs. They were training together in Philadelphia a couple weeks ago, and I was texting Carr, and I said, I really hope you guys don't compete in the finals, but my gut tells me you guys are going to. I just have a weird gut. I love those two. It's probably a bias. But here's my rationale. I have heard from other people that Carr up at 79 kilos is just dominating dudes.
Yeah.
I've heard he just looks absolutely awesome up at 79. I think he
I don't,
beats O'Toole, and I also think that Chance is very, very tough, and he's a hard style to compete. But two things. One, I think when people saw him beat Burroughs, they saw that game plan, and now they're going to game plan for that.
I know, yeah, but here's the thing with Chance.
I also
I
think the
don't,
weight cut. Like you said, there was more talk about Chance going 92 than 79 initially.
yeah, there's a couple things there. Like, Chance cannot wrestle 92. I don't care. I love Chance. I love you, but I mean he's 5'8". Um, I mean I guess Deron Wynn wrestled 97, but uh, Chance has to be 79, and I think he'll make the way and be fine. I don't think he'll lose because of a cut or anything. I also think that I don't believe in game planning. I don't believe that like Chance he might have game planned for Burroughs, but I don't think he tipped his hand on how other people can wrestle him to avoid that. Chance is so square, so fundamental, so tough to break through his
Oh, hold
defense.
on. Timeout. Goat follower. I totally forgot Levi Haynes is entering. Totally. I'm looking at the pre-seeds, and I totally forgot that Levi Haynes is in. I don't know where they're going to put him. That definitely could change things.
He
I
has
got to
to
believe
be,
he could be top 5.
he
He's
has
this
to
year's
be-
NCAA champ.
but what does that matter though?
Because I think Levi
He's
Haynes.
not top 5. He's not
What?
ahead. He's not ahead of O'Toole or Carr.
Why isn't he ahead of Carr?
Carr is returning NCAA champ
So is
higher
Levi
weight.
Haynes.
At a higher weight.
Okay, so say he's 5 or 6. Either way, he's right there. He's going to be.
I mean, I would on no planet would I put. Now maybe there's some whack ass pin system rating that has Levi ahead of David Carr, but he should not be ahead of David Carr.
Okay, so maybe he's the 6 and Carr's the 5.
6, I can get on board with 6.
So if he was the 6, who does he face then? Derringer?
Yeah.
Who you got in that match? That'd be a fun match. Last time we saw Levi Haynes, he was winning a national championship at 157.
No, it's not last time we saw him.
No, 165. Wait.
Levi. The last time we saw Levi, he got beat by Facundo. That's the last time we saw Levi.
That's right. I was going to say, I thought he wrestled 157. What about
So-
But yeah, I forgot Facundo.
Yeah, so and Facundo is not the size of who knows? I mean, that's another thing. We might see Levi and he might just be an absolute hoss.
I know.
He always had the frame and to get bigger. And even when even like when he was coming out of high school, everybody was like, his dad's huge. He's going to be huge. And maybe now he hit that spurt. I mean, he's going up to 79, right? I mean, he wrestled 157. Most people that wrestle 157, you wouldn't say, well, there's no way in hell he's making 154, right? On a one day, just for the weekend. It's not like he has to make it for the whole season. But he's not. He's going up. So maybe he's really big. In which case, if he's really big, I think he can go with.
And by the way,
Darren.
for the casual fan or the college fan tuning in, 79 kilos is 174 pounds. Just for kind of the, this is in international wrestling is in kilos, but he just won an NCAA title at 157, and now he's competing at almost 20
Essentially
pounds
2 weight.
heavier. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, if he is that size, I think he can go with some of these guys. Now that
Yeah.
being said, I don't take for the people that like want to boo hoo and say, well, how can he be a factor here? He just lost to Facundo. Uh, I'm not making excuses for anybody, but when you are a true sophomore and you qualify for the Olympic trials, you're going, right? You're going. So but you might be beat up and chewed up and spit out. And so guys like I look at the performances, guys like Levi, guys like Meyer Shapiro. Listen, Keegan didn't even go, right? The timing of the Olympic trials was so detrimental to the college guys, to a lot of the college guys, right? You could say Aaron Brooks, right? But I don't think my point is I don't think we saw the best version of Levi at the Olympic trials. I don't think we saw
No,
the
I
best
agree.
version of Meyer at the Olympic trials, right? That's all I'm getting at. And so I'm saying for people that saying Levi won't be a factor here because he just lost to Facundo, I'm saying Levi may have not been in the best place at that particular time.
There is definitely a difference a month out from winning a national championship and going through the whole college season and having this whole summer off. Huge difference.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah.
Even just to mentally reset, right? I mean, I kind of contradicted myself by saying Levi wasn't ready, and like Aaron Brooks certainly was, but to each his own, right? I mean, some people it's a thing, and for Aaron Brooks it wasn't. It was actually maybe a little beneficial.
So who's your pick at 79 kilos?
Dude, this is ridiculous. How do you pick here?
Do what
I
I
mean,
do. Go with your
I
bias
feel
and let
like
people cry about it.
no, I feel like O'Toole Carr is sort of a toss. I feel like um, Burrows a touch better than Ringer. I feel
A
like there's so
touch.
many.
A touch better.
Yeah, a
Burrows
touch
is a
better.
touch better than Ringer?
Uh,
Burrows is the GOAT.
I know, but his resume isn't wrestling this tournament. He is. Um, yeah, I mean, I would it be the greatest shock of all time if Ringer beats Jordan? I mean, Ringer is really good. I will pick Burrows, right? But I don't think.
At 36 years old, if Burrows loses to a very tough Derringer, would I be surprised or shocked? No.
That's what.
No. Of course
Um,
not. Derringer is, by the way, in his 30s already, which is
two,
crazy. I feel like he graduated yesterday.
2-6. I'll go Burrows. I'll go Burrows.
Yeah.
I think I'll go Burrows. I mean, part of that is I think he's on a better side. I don't like that Marsteller O'Toole Carr thing. To me, Carr and O'Toole are scary.
Agreed. I don't know. I've heard a lot of good things about O'Toole's wrestling over the past, or Carr's wrestling over the past couple of months, and I obviously love Carr. I don't really know much about what O'Toole's been up to this summer, how he's looking, how he's feeling. So I go
Well,
Carr there, but absolutely O'Toole's incredible.
he's another one. I think that I mean a little bit like Levi is. Like O'Toole didn't even go to the trials. Actually, I don't know. I don't know. Was he qualified? He had to be qualified, right? He won junior.
He
I don't know.
went he was registered, and then I
Oh, if he
think
was registered, then he was eligible.
he no listen, he qualified by winning U23 gold,
U
and
twenty
then
three.
a week before Missouri said due to injury he's not competing.
Okay, so right. I mean, that's another like Levi. I'm saying Meyer, Keegan. Keegan might not have been fully ready for the Olympic trials, and now I think up a weight he gets to eat a little bit more. He's not at 74 kgs, at 79. I really think Now, and I've heard the same things that you have heard about cars jump levels. Um, but I think one of those two guys is really scary.
And this is not like a 74 kilo Car's throwing his hat in the ring at 79. Carr feels great at 79, and I don't think we see him at 74 again until the Olympic trials in 2028, and by then he might be going up. So I think personally his days are done at 74. So I'm excited to see what Carr can do this weekend. Very excited.
Who am I taking here? I'm going to take Burroughs.
I'm taking Burroughs. I don't. How do you go against him? I just.
I mean, it's easy to go. It's easy to go against him analytically. I mean, he lost to Nolf, he lost to Marsteller. So what's different this time around? That being said, maybe I'm like just maybe I'm just
Nolf. Nolf is one of the greatest on the senior level to not make a team. He was so good and so dominant. It sucks he's done. Sucks.
I don't know. Yeah, man, I'd like to see him in this field.
Oh, it'd be great.
That being said, I applaud guys that are like, you know what? It's time to move on.
Here's Jason Nolf's domestic losses. Kyle Dake at the Olympic trials. Kyle Dake at the 2023 World Trials. Kyle Dake at the 2022 World Trials. Carter Starachi and Jordan Burroughs at the 2021 World Team Trials. Kyle Dake at the 2020 Olympic Trials. And then Imar in 2019. He does not have that many losses. It's literally Dake and Burroughs. And
he lost to Imar in freestyle?
He got teched at the Bill Farrell. Nolf was injured, and I told him not to compete. And he said, I'm just going to let it fly. And it was in 2019, he went out there and he hobbled to the center of the mat and then just got like taken down and laced real quick.
Well, it's still, Imar's not a bad loss. I didn't recall that match. All right. Jordan Burroughs, one last ride, I guess, right?
Jordan Burroughs, one last ride. But yeah, that's going to be a very fun weight. All right, 70 kilos. This is my hardest weight to pick. I've yet to pick in my head. Maybe you can talk me into one guy or another, but this just feels wide open to me. We got Alec Pantelio the 1, James Green the 2, J.O. the 3, P.J. Duke the 4, Jarrett Jacques the 5, who had a crazy run at the Olympic trials.
Crazy. Insane.
Evan Henderson the 6, Bryce Andonian the 7, Panero Johnson the 8, Yaya the 9, Will Luan the 10, and it keeps going. Even Caleb Larkin the 12. Caleb Larkin, who won the Bill Farrell in a couple years ago.
This is by far the deepest.
Or last year he won it at 65 kilos.
This is by far the deepest weight this weekend. Right?
No. 79 is.
No.
Carr world champ. O'Toole world champ. Burroughs world champ, Olympic champ. Who's a world champ at 70?
It doesn't matter. I'm not talking about in that.
Well, you got 3 world champs at 79.
I'm talking about Caleb Larkin can legit beat the 5 seed.
Correct.
I'm talking about D. Lockett has been cadet gold.
So this is the most wide open weight.
Junior silver, beat Meyer Shapiro, who was also a junior world gold, and Vince Bouzakis is the 15 seed, and he was leading. He gave D. Lockett everything he wanted. I'm saying in terms of who can knock people off, 79 is the most credentialed. But
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I don't see like Matt Bianchi upsetting the apple cart.
Well, this is the biggest weight too. You got 21 guys seated versus you got 12, 17, and 14.
Yeah. I mean,
just look at the seeds held. Look at the
Daniel Cardenas is an NCAA All-American, and he's 14. I mean, hell, Jaden Abbas,
Look at
Ryan Jack.
I know
Not
this is a great weight. How about you, PJ Duke, Jarrett Jacques? Who you got?
Really weird to even put them next to each other. I ain't down PJ Duke for anything. Especially, a lot of people say, well, some people would say, oh, PJ Duke is too close in proximity to Junior Worlds. Why are you coming right off the plane, going to Omaha and wrestling senior level? It could be the best scenario for him and for Marisola because look at how many people say, well, uh, our college season really helps us prepare for international season, right? That close proximity, I mean, there is no doubt that PJ's at the peak of his powers right now. I mean, his training regimen, he's right there, right?
Yeah, I
And
agree.
so and so I like it. Give me PJ over Jock Hughes. JQs. Um Man, Pantelio is a different animal at 70. I mean, he is a dude. He is a dude. So I would take Pantelio over either PJ or Jock JQs. Although, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, Caleb Larkin, the word out of the Arizona State room about Caleb Larkin, they couldn't be higher on this kid.
And he did just win the Bill Ferrell at 65, and he looked great doing it.
He's going to be awesome. He is going to be awesome.
Pantelio beat Jo twice at the U.S. No, he beat him twice real quick. He beat him at the Rudis Supercard match, and then at the U.S. Open back-to-back. And then he beat Tyler Berger in 2022 and then lost to Zane and Sammy Sasso. Yeah, Pantelio at 70 that's his weight. I'm really glad we're seeing Jo, James Green, Alec Pantelio all at 70, all at the weight they belong at.
Right. This is one of those that's like, thank God these guys get to compete at a weight that's good for them.
I can't wait to see Jo compete.
I can't wait either.
He's so fired up.
I wonder what kind of I don't really know. I watch a lot of MMA, not a ton. I guess what I'm trying to get to is I don't know the difference in conditioning from like a 3-minute MMA round to a a 6-minute freestyle match. So, do you have any insight on that? Like, is it harder to if a man can fight for a 3-minute round, are they should they be in A-OK conditioning shape?
From my understanding, wrestling shape is harder because there is dancing in MMA where you're just kind of standing and feeling the guy out. I've heard from a couple of guys that wrestling shape is harder.
Okay.
But who knows? I don't know. I'm sure different people have different opinions on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think if Jordan is in wrestling shape, he's gonna be a tough out. Obviously, he has the technical acumen.
I just texted Bo Nickel on a scale of 1 to 10. What is wrestling? What is MMA in regards to conditioning needed? We'll see if he gets back to me before the end of the show.
This is bonkers. I mean, Yaya can wrestle 1-point matches with anybody and threaten to steal them, right? Like Yaya Pinero, and then I mean a Yaya Pantelio match would be really interesting. I mean Luan again, he's gonna have a 7-seed Andonian and then maybe James Green. There's no easy matches in this road.
One of the big questions here too is James Green. He obviously had hip surgery. We thought he was done, and then he came back and He didn't look good at the Olympic trials, but he was also down at 65 kilos, where he has never looked good. He's always looked his best at 70. When was the last time we saw James Green at 70? A couple years ago, right?
What's James? Did James? How many times has James Green entered a trials at 70 kilograms and not won it? In the history of the weight class.
That's a good question.
Once?
Let's look it up. Did he enter?
Maybe.
Trying to go back.
He might have won it. I think the 1 year Marable won it. I think James' first senior level year, Marable won it, and I think James won it every year since.
Let's look it up.
I mean, the last Zane won. Zane win twice? Did Zane win 70? Was it Zane on the world team twice at 70? But I don't think either year. I don't think either year James entered, right?
I don't think he entered. I think he was done at the. Well, hold on. So 2014, Maribel wins at 70. 2015, it's James Green. 2016 Olympic trials, he goes down to 65. 2016 World Team Trials for non-Olympic weights, he beats J.O. twice. 2017,
he won.
He beat Jimmy Kennedy twice and made the team. 2018, he beat Jason Chamberlain twice. Yep.
2019, he won.
2019, beat Deacon twice. 2020, he goes down to 65 for the Olympics. And then in 2021, beats Deacon again twice to make the team. And then 2022, I see nothing. Yusardogu is the last competition in Wikipedia.
I'm telling you, he won it every time he entered it. Since his first year. And
second, because the first one he lost to Maribel in 2014.
Right. Ever since then. So now he it was interesting when he was walking wounded before he had hip surgery. I was with him. He was named developmental coach, and I was with him in Italy and all through camps that summer. And he was limping around. He was miserable. And he said he couldn't even eat and couldn't keep on weight. And after that hip surgery, he felt like a brand new man.
Zane got silver at 2022, gold 2023. That's right.
Yeah. So
I'm eager to see him back at 70.
Yeah. Give me now his path would go 15 would be Bouzakis, and then 7 would be Andonian. Give me James Green, and then he'd have Jordan. But Jordan has to get through a couple guys. Give me James to win.
I think James well, what is? Hold on. Fellers is.
Yeah, Fellers is incessant.
He lost his last match to DeSanto. Pantaleo at 65, and JB has lost more matches in the last 2 years than he did the previous 12. Well, he's 36 years old. That's typically what happens later in your career. Felter's facts.
Felters.
I'm going James Green. I think that's the safe play. He's looked so good at 70. He has the wins over J.O. I'd be so pumped if J.O. wins this. Would be so happy for him.
It'd be a great story.
Last time we saw J.O. in wrestling was the Olympics, right? Did we see him since?
Where he won it.
Yeah. We haven't seen him since then, I don't think.
So that was 21. That was May 21. So over 3.5, almost 4 years ago.
No, he entered the 2022. Okay. He lost to Pantaleo at the Open, and he lost to Zane in 2 of 3 in the World Team Trials. And then I think that must have been it. That's right. That was finally Stillwater. So yeah, I'll go green.
Final X Stillwater? I don't even remember that.
That's where Gross beat Fix.
Did I not go to that?
I'm sure you did. I'm sure Clay Hudson flew you out.
Yeah. Well, who you picking? I took James.
Green. I'm going green.
There's like so many guys I want to see win this weight.
Yeah.
Obviously, James is at the top. Jordan, I love. And so many guys that could win it, Pantaleo, obviously top seed for a reason.
Yeah. And then 61.
And 61. 61 is the weight where it's like old vets and some new faces, right? You got
By the way, USA Wrestling there were some questions about this, and they just confirmed it. They said that David Taylor is the 1 seed. Final seeds will come out after weigh-ins Saturday morning.
Does Pat Downey actually weigh in?
He's going to be the 2 seed.
Yeah. All right, 61. You got the old vet, Nashon Garrett, who... Has he ever made a team?
He made a team, but then pulled out because of injury.
So he never wrestled at Worlds. The only team he
No.
made was Final X Lehigh, where he beat Joe Colon. But then something happened, and Nashon couldn't wrestle at Worlds, so Colon went, and Colon actually medaled.
Yeah. Yep.
Dayton Fix is your number 2. Austin DeSanto, the 3. How many times have we seen that match? Let me look at trials. What happened? How about
the young guns, Marcus Blaze and Jax Forrest at this weight?
That's what I'm saying. Is you got these old vets like Nashon, but then you got the new guys coming up. How is Nashon seated ahead of Fix? What am I missing?
That's why I'm telling you, this way this pin system and everything else goes doesn't make any sense. I mean, Dayton Fix is a world silver medalist at that weight.
It's because, I'll tell you why it is. It's because Nashon beat Seth Gross. That's the only reason. That has to be the only reason. Right?
What does that have to do with Fix? Because Gross beat Fix, so because Nashon beat Gross, he's the 1 and Gross the 4?
I guess. I mean, body of work, Fix should be the 1, right? I don't know.
I would think so. No, I don't know that it matters that much.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
If you're a Dayton Fix guy, wouldn't you rather the 2 seed?
Yeah.
If Gross has beaten you, not that I don't think Fix can win, but
I agree. I'm just saying on process. I don't know how Dayton's behind Nashon. I don't know how Dayton's behind Nashon. I don't know, but Dayton probably I would probably rather face DeSanto than like Gross, who is just like a pain in the ass.
Yes.
Like they're both pains in the asses. Like DeSanto is a pain in the ass to wrestle because of his relentless pace, and he's always putting pressure on you. You can't blink.
All right, I'm sending Fellers the link because he just keeps in the chat. He just said in our group chat, he said Nashon made Final X last year, idiots.
Did he? I don't even remember.
I don't either. I'm looking it up right now. Let me see here.
Final X last year? What? 2023?
Let's see. Vito beat Nashon 2 in a row. That's right.
Yeah. I don't care. I still think Dayton's resume is better.
Man, I totally forgot Nashon was at the...
Dayton made Final X 17 times. Uh, Fellers, stop it.
Just click the link, fellers. Just click the damn link.
Honestly, God.
I love Felters for this brain though. He listens, he just spits out random things. There is something to not being live. You just think differently because
Yeah.
you're not in the conversation and you're just like boom, boom, boom. I do the same thing when you guys are
when
going.
you're not live, you can Google everything. We get it. Congrats.
Come on, fellers. I just sent you a link. Join the chat from the tree stand. All right, so then we got I'm high on Fix this weekend. I'm very high on him. I think the addition of Kennedy and Gilman in that room, new coaching staff, you got Taylor. I'm high on Fix this weekend. I think we're going to see Vito versus Fix best of 3 in the finals.
That's what I'm taking as well.
And then I'm taking Vito best of 3 simply because
Where does Nathan even train at?
Lehigh Valley.
He does?
Not the tree stand. He's in the boat. He's sending a picture of a bass.
He's supposed to come out here to Idaho to bass fish, and I fully intend on being there and drowning him in the lake at some point. But did Blaze beat Blaze? Oh, Dayton forfeited to Blaze. Dayton forfeited.
I don't think that anybody's beaten Vito if we see the same Vito we saw last year. He's the reigning world champ at this weight. He didn't compete in the Olympic trials. He didn't make that cut. He got healthy. He has not competed since March. If Vito is the same Vito that we saw last year, I think he wins this. But I think it's going to be close. I think Fix is coming.
I agree. That's exactly my pick. I'm picking Vito over Dayton in the finals.
Fellers, can you text us your 4 picks, please? From the boat. Text us your 4 picks, please. So, yeah, it's going to be great. Let me look up the schedule real quick because I know people are always asking me for it.
Yeah, what is the schedule? I don't even know what the schedule is.
All right, so prelims and quarters, Saturday 11 to 4 Eastern. Saturday night 6 to 10 you got semifinals. All styles.
Ooh, I like it.
Sunday 11 to 3 you got Conti's all the way back to to third place. Sunday 3 to 5. Thank God the Bills are on tonight. Best of 3 finals. Sunday 3 to 5 during the Bills slot. By the way, last pick, Bills plus 2.5 tonight. Give me Dalton.
Who is tonight? Bills and who?
Bills and Dolphins. Dolphins are 2.5-point favorites. Give me Dalton Kincaid to score a touchdown tonight.
I got a chain in one league, and he's like questionable. I gotta check that out.
Yeah, I thought he was not playing.
Don't say that.
Dealing with ankle sprain will work out pregame tonight to determine his availability.
He's gonna play because Moster's already.
I hope he sits out tonight and gets healthy and comes back strong tomorrow. Sorry.
Listen, the Bills can win. I just need like 12
the Bills
points.
have owned Miami, but Miami they always play so good. Thank God it's at least at night. It's not going to be so damn hot. Miami's going to pull in Miami. They're going to pull that scumbag move again and put them directly in the sun on the sidelines.
Oh,
like they cooked them 2 years ago.
Cry me a river.
Bills plus 2.5 over 48. I think it's going to be a shootout. Over 48.5. Bills plus 2.5. Dalton Kincaid anytime touchdown scorer tonight.
Are we gonna? What's our schedule? What's our schedule gonna be like? Are we gonna go? We're just gonna do a live. We're gonna do a recap show Monday morning. We're gonna do it Saturday night, Sunday night, all of the above.
I think with Sunday the best of 3 finals from 3 to 5. I think we just go right after that.
Let's do it, buddy.
I mean, they're gonna wrap up at like 2 p.m. your time. So I definitely think.
All right.
What's the NFL schedule? Hold on, let me look in the NFL schedule. Sunday afternoon. So hold on. Rams, Cardinals, Broncos, Steelers, and the Bengals Chiefs. All right, we'll have Bengals Chiefs on in the background, and we'll do our show at like 6 o'clock Eastern Sunday night, and then we'll post it. Texans are going to smoke the Bears Sunday night.
Hopefully.
I can't wait. I'll know when Shenzo's.
Why do you hate the Bears?
Oh, I love the Bears. If the Bills weren't my team, I think I would root for the Bears. The Lions.
Caleb Williams paints his fingernails.
He's a goof. He stunk this week. Stunk. The Bears got so lucky that their defense is so good.
That is the worst win in NFL history, I think.
He had what?
It's one of the worst wins.
90 yards or something?
Terrible.
All right, buddy. Where's Bashada with the terrible video?
Terrible.
All right, well, we're gonna have some fun. Yeah, we'll do a show Sunday night.
All right, buddy.
All right, that's Baschamania. Fellers, bring some bass to my pond. Let's restock.
Restock.
All right, see you guys.